hyperbola which has asymptotes perpendicular to each other is called a rectangular hyperbola. So perpendicular asymptotes, joint equation of asymptotes we had written last lecture was y square is equal to b square upon s square. Is that correct? X square upon a square minus y square upon b square is equal to 0. That was the joint equation of asymptotes. So y square upon b square is equal to x square upon a square, and therefore two asymptotes that we had were y is equal to bx by a and y is equal to opposite of bx by a, but now they are supposed to be perpendicular to each other, and therefore their product of the slopes b upon a into minus b upon a should be equal to minus 1. Therefore a square is equal to b square, implies a is equal to b, and therefore the hyperbola will look like x square upon a square minus y square upon a square is equal to a square. This is the form because a square is equal to b square. Find eccentricity of this hyperbola. Let me sketch. These are perpendiculars, and you have hyperbola. Okay, and suppose you have point P on hyperbola whose coordinates are x comma y, which means you have just put the same wording notation, everything same, rectangular hyperbola. Now suppose foot of perpendicular is denoted by M. This is center C. This is our point A, which might not be required. Okay. Now what we are going to do is basically, because this is 90 degree angle between the two asymptotes, we would like to figure out now this hyperbola presently is looking like x square minus y square is equal to a square, because the asymptotes are perpendicular. Now we would like to find out the equation of the same hyperbola when we wish to refer to asymptotes as their axis. So the frame of reference to be chosen is these perpendicular asymptotes. You are supposed to make them as x-axis and y-axis, and with respect to those, how the equation of hyperbola will look like. So find the equation of hyperbola. Considering perpendicular asymptotes as frame of reference. Okay, so as to help you out little bit, what we wish to find out is, maybe you draw line parallel to one of the asymptotes here. Let there be a perpendicular from here. Let this point be N. So what is your x coordinate? X coordinate is Cm. X is equal to Cm. This point is P. Y is equal to MP. That is already known to us. Now, if you want, we wish to find out x dash comma y dash with reference to these two lines. Let me call this point as H, and that's all. That is the thing that you want. So one of the coordinates will be HP and the other coordinate will be CH. If you consider this as x coordinate after rotation, and if you consider this as y coordinate, then you will get x dash, which is CH, x dash, which is HP, y dash is equal to CH, and then the equation, the same equation will look little different. So find out the equation of hyperbola with reference to its asymptotes. Okay, by more than one methods you can arrive at this formula of hyperrectangular hyperbola referred to its asymptotes, and a square by 2 if we consider as c square, then this is the standard form of rectangular hyperbola. It is also sometimes referred as equilateral hyperbola. Now, so now the perpendicular asymptotes are going to be x-axis and y-axis. So if c square is equal to 1, we already know this curve. It goes like this. In one of our 9 standard lecture notes, we have got these diagrams made. So this is actually the hyperbola xy is equal to 1, or y is equal to 1 upon x. It is the hyperbola, rectangular hyperbola, and constant is 1. So that completes the story. Now, if point P is on rectangular hyperbola, how will the equation of tangent look like? Find equation tangent at P x1 y1 to xy is equal to c square. Okay, xy is equal to c square is our hyperbola. So consider 2xy is equal to 2c square, and then we want to break this, and to find out t is equal to 0, we get xy1 plus yx1 is equal to 2c square. This is the equation of tangent at x1 comma y1 to rectangular hyperbola. Find equation of normal at px1 y1 to xy is equal to c square. Okay, equation of normal x1 plus minus y1 is equal to x1 square minus y1 square. Now equation of tangent also can be written like this by replacing c square by x1 y1. Okay. Next job is parameterize xy is equal to c square, and it is easy. How will you parameterize? X is equal to ct and y is equal to c upon t. So if you multiply these two, you end up getting c square. So parameterization, x coordinate is normally taken ct and y coordinate as c upon t. So equation of chord, find equation of chord. P1 whose parameter is T1, P2 whose parameter is T2. X plus T1 T2y is equal to C inside bracket T1 plus T2. That is the equation of chord. Tangent at P1, find the point of intersection. Tangent at P1 and tangent at P2. Of course, their corresponding coordinates are, parameters are T1 and T2. Find the point of intersection. Point of intersection happens to be 2C T1 T2 upon T1 plus T2, comma 2C upon T1 plus T2. Okay, can you, we have not found out equation of tangent in terms of t. Find equation. You must have found it out right now, but still, of tangent at pt. Okay, limiting chord is a tangent, and we know the equation of chord which we have written here. So T2 goes to T1. So x plus t square y is equal to 2ct. And therefore, slope of tangent is minus 1 upon t square. Oh, always negative. So if you have rectangular hyperbola xy is equal to c square, and if you happen to draw tangent at any point on that hyperbola, you are bound to get obtuse angle with positive x-axis. The slope is going to be always negative. This angle is going to be always obtuse. Okay, that is the observation because of t square. Okay, now let us see some of the applications. Okay, next problem is prove that if a rectangular hyperbola circumscribes a triangle, it also passes through orthocenter of that triangle. Prove this. Maybe let me quickly solve this problem because not that all of you have shown me the answers. CT1 comma C upon T1, maybe Q as CT2 comma C upon T2, and R as CT3 comma C upon T3. Suppose these are the 3 points on the rectangular hyperbola xy is equal to c square. All these points will satisfy this equation. Then equation of QR, we have found out equation of chord. So QR is x plus y t2 t3 is equal to c inside bracket t2 plus t3. Equation of line passing through P perpendicular to QR should look like x minus c upon t1 is equal to t2 t3 inside bracket x minus c t1. Just check, I am just running through this particular proof because it is easy. So it is, this is the perpendicular line passing through, नाही इथे y पाहिजे ना, y minus c upon t1 is equal to t2 t3 inside bracket x minus c t1. Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Okay, similarly equation of line passing through q and perpendicular to rp, directly let me write. Okay, this can be further simplified as y plus c t1 t2 t3. If you multiply everything by t1 is equal to t2 t3 inside bracket x plus c upon t1 t2 t3. So similarly I can write y plus c times t1 t2 t3 is equal to t3 t1 inside bracket x plus c upon t1 t2 t3. Now if you solve these two equations simultaneously, you should get the point of intersection, and the point of intersection happens to be minus c upon t1 t2 t3 comma minus c t1 t2 t3. So the point of intersection H is satisfying the original hyperbola xy is equal to c square, right? And therefore what we can deduce is, if 4 points belong to rectangular hyperbola, if 4 points belong to rectangular hyperbola, then orthocenter of remaining triangle. Differently, T1, T2, T3, T4 is equal to minus. So if you pick and choose 4 points such that T1, T2, T3, T4 is equal to minus 1, then this property is going to be available to you. Because your fourth coordinate happens to be looking like this. Okay. Yet another property. Let a circle, next problem. A circle and rectangular hyperbola.
Sir, can you show in?
You read and show me because I am able to hear you properly. If a circle and rectangular hyperbola xy is equal to c square meet in the 4 points, meet in 4 points, T1, T2, T3, T4, then prove that T1, T2, T3, T4 is 1. Consider a general circle whose equation is x square plus y square plus 2gx. I don't know why I have considered it minus, but it's okay. Plus 2fy plus c. That c is going to get confused with this c plus k is equal to 0. And any point on rectangular hyperbola can be considered as ct comma c upon t. Okay. And if we want to find out the point of intersections, we have to solve them simultaneously. Therefore, ct square plus c upon t square plus 2g ct plus 2f c upon t plus k is equal to 0. This is going to be fourth degree equation in t, right? So we should be interested in constant term and the coefficient of 4 degree. So what is the coefficient of t raised to 4? If we multiply throughout by t square, we will get t raised to 4 here. So c, correct? And plus something, and the last term will be constant. Which term will you, which term amongst all this which will be free of t? This one? Everything by c t square, you will get c square. Yes or no? This is c square, sorry. T fourth into c square is the leading coefficient and constant term is also c square. Therefore, product of the roots, if suppose this 4th degree equation will have 4 roots, T1, T2, T3, T4, product of them is c square upon c square, which is equal to 1. That is how it is, as simple as that. Now, Cp1 square. Those points are P1, P2, P3, P4, and C is the center of hyperbola. Then prove that Cp1 square plus Cp2 square plus Cp3 square plus Cp4 square is equal to 4r square, where r is the radius of the given circle. Okay, check whether you get this. I don't have a written proof with me, but hopefully you will get it. Now the situation is like this. You have a rectangular hyperbola. And you have a circle which is not, center is not at origin, some circle like this. Suppose. Then you can consider, say, this as P1, this as P2, this as P3, this as P4. This is our C. And actual center of the circle will be somewhere else. Here, and this is your small. Then this identity should be true. Cp1 square is equal to x1 square plus y1 square, where x1 and y1 are coordinates of P1. Therefore, LHS is equal to sigma x1 square plus sigma y1 square, summation of all squares of x coordinate and summation of all squares of y coordinate is your LHS. Okay. Now these points are x1 comma y1, x2 comma y2, x3 comma y3. Okay, I think if we do it using parametric but this procedure, it will be still simpler. Let me try. LHS is equal to CT1 upon comma, so CT1 sigma, let me write down C square T1 square plus T2 square plus T3 square plus 1 upon T1, T2, T3 square. This is summation of x coordinates plus C square inside bracket 1 upon T1 square plus 1 upon T2 square plus 1 upon T3 square plus T1, T2, T3 bracket square. This is what is your LHS. बरोबर है. And RHS supposingly if we consider this K and R, then equation of circle is x minus h. So P1 CT1 minus h bracket square plus C upon T1 minus K bracket square is equal to R square. Okay, so we want 4 R squares, therefore we have to add them, and therefore if we, after expanding, if we add them, what will happen? Let us see. So I will get C square T1 square plus T2 square plus T3 square plus T4 square, which is actually 1 upon T1 plus T2 plus T3 bracket square. This is the summation of first term. Then summation of second term is exactly same. C square is equal to 1 upon T1 square plus 1 upon T2 square plus 1 upon T3 square plus T1, T2, T3 bracket square. This is a square of this plus h square plus 4h square plus 4k square. And what will happen to middle terms? Middle term of this is 2cht1. Middle term of this is with negative sign 2ck upon t1. Okay, and therefore all four added together we will have minus 2ch t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t4 minus 2ck into 1 upon t1 plus 1 upon t2 plus 1 upon t3 plus 1 upon, now t4 च्या जागी मी तो लिहू शकतो पण anyway. Am I getting something out of this? This is the expansion of LHS, which is equal to 4r square. Now out of which we don't want these terms. Are these terms equal to 0?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why?
तर ती फोर्थ डिग्री क्वाड्रेटिक येते ना एक्स ची त्याच्यामधून या व्हॅल्यूज इझिली मिळतात. सिग्मा T1 इज -2g अपॉन c आणि तो जो 1 अपॉन T1 चा सिग्मा आहे तो आहे -2f अपॉन c. म्हणजे h आणि k कन्सिडर करून. तर मग सगळं कॅन्सल होऊन जातं.
सगळे कॅन्सल होतात and this 4h square also gets cancelled. So this is sigma 1 of the fourth degree equation which we had written earlier. This is sigma 2 upon sigma 3. No, sigma, this is sigma 1, sigma 3 upon sigma 4. This is sigma 3 upon sigma 4. So maybe let me look at that equation. We have, I mean, at that time we have not written all the parameters here. Maybe we write it now. So what will be the coefficient of t cube? Or coefficient of t cube here
GC.
going to be 2gc, right?
Yes.
Plus what is the coefficient of t square? T square is going to be k. बरोबर आहे? Plus what is the coefficient t? We are multiplying by t square, so 2fc plus c square is equal to 0, and therefore t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t4 is equal to minus 2g c upon c square, therefore 2g upon c, correct? And we want 1 upon t1 plus 1 upon t2 plus 1 upon t3 plus 1 upon t4 is equal to t1 t2 t3 plus सगळे divided by t1 t2 t3 t4. So this is sigma 3 upon sigma 4. Now what is our sigma 3? This is sigma 1, this is sigma 2, this is sigma 3. So with minus sign is equal to minus 2fc upon what is your sigma 4 upon c square जाणार दोन्हीकडचं आणि sigma 3 is this upon c square into c square upon c square, which is equal to minus 2fc. Those are the only two terms.
Minus 12 upon c.
Sorry.
Minus 12 upon c.
Upon c. Okay, and if we substitute those values back into our this equation, okay, here, so we want this to be equal to 0, so 4h square plus 4k square minus t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t4 is equal to minus 2g upon c. प्लस येते माझं मध्येच.
सर कारण की h is equal to minus g, तर मग ते minus येते.
h is equal to minus g. ओके, दोन आपण वेगवेगळे घेतलेले आहेत तिथे. अच्छा, in terms of h पाहिजे आपल्याला, so h is equal to minus g, therefore what we will write here is minus 2 or maybe minus 2h upon c, that is the bracket, value of bracket, into 2ch, this part. So cc gets cancelled, 4h square with negative sign, minus 2ck inside bracket 2f upon c, f म्हणजेच k. That makes it 4k square, and therefore this becomes 0 and we end up getting identity. I mean, there are more than one ways of doing it. However, every method will require to do some involved algebra. Then only you will get the answer. Now, okay. Now let us finish couple of properties of rectangular which are there in MMR. Center of circle P1, P2, P3 is coordinates of center of circle P1, P2, P3. Maybe if you would have done this earlier, we would have got our result quickly. But now, having done all the work, you should be able to report center of circle P1, P2, P3 very quickly. Do it. P1, T1, P2, T2, P3, T3. These are the parameters of points on the circle. Therefore, centroid G is equal to CT1 plus T2 plus T3 by 3, comma C by 3 into 1 upon T1 plus 1 upon T2 plus 1 upon T3. This is your centroid. And orthocenter H is, we said, the fourth point we can easily find out. T1, T2, T3, T4 is equal to minus 1. Therefore, coordinates of orthocenter will be C minus C upon T1, T2, T3, comma, minus C, T1, T2, T3. O, G and H. One is to 2. We are searching for coordinates of O, H, comma, K. Okay. So, C upon 3 into T1 plus T2 plus T3, that is x coordinate of centroid, is equal to 1 time coordinate of orthocenter is equal to minus c upon t1 plus t, sorry, minus c upon t1, t2, t3, 1 into this plus 2 into h upon 3. Correct? So 3 cancels out, and therefore h is equal to by 2 inside bracket t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus बरोबर है ना, c/2 कॉमन काढला, so 1 upon t1 plus t2 plus 1 upon t1 t2 t3. Similarly, k also will come out as c/2 inside bracket 1 upon t1 plus 1 upon t2 plus 1 upon t3 plus t1 t2. Very good idea. The OGH collinearity used effectively, and hence you get the center of the circle very quickly. Normal at last property of hyperbola, that is where hyperbola is going to end. Normal at PT1 meets xy is equal to c square again at PT2. Then T2 is equal to okay. The answer for previous question is T2 is equal to minus 1 upon T1 cube, and it is going to be simple to arrive at this. Now, we have not yet done the characterization of hyperbola, ellipse and parabola, but we have said h square minus AB is equal to 0 is parabola. Let me tell you now, we will prove it in the next lecture. If h square minus AB is less than 0, then it is ellipse. And if it is h square minus AB, let me tell you the reason behind it. Suppose we have ax square plus by square plus 2hxy plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 is a general degree 2 equation. Next lecture we will try to convert this into all possible conic sections. That we will do next time. But then, as far as rotation transformation is concerned, if you could find out correct theta through which if you rotate your system by keeping the origin at the same point, you can get rid of this term, xy term. Xy term essentially comes when rotation takes place. Okay, so if you want to get rid of xy term, you need to rotate your x-axis and y-axis, keeping them perpendicular around origin in anti-clockwise direction through angle theta, which you can arrive at and get rid of xy term. Okay, so if xy term is vanishing, then you will be left with x square, y square, x, y and c. Okay, so method of completing square if you perform, then you will get into something like you can get rid of x and y by shifting the origin. You complete the square and deal with the remaining constant term, and you will find that you will end up getting something like capital X plus h bracket square plus b inside bracket capital y plus k bracket square, and then you have some constant in RHS. Okay, this could be bad number, but if xy term is absent, you can always complete square and equation will start looking like this. And then if you shift your origin to minus h comma minus k, then xy terms also will vanish. and hence eventually you will be left with, say, capital A some capital X square plus capital B capital Y square is equal to some constant in RHS, and depending upon how this capital A is, capital B is and capital K is, we will be able to deal with whether it is ellipse, whether it is hyperbola, etc. And in between stages we will get POL, parabola, etc. However, what I am trying to tell you is eventually by rotation and shift of origin you can always go back to your standard parabola, ellipse, hyperbola, pair of lines, whatever, standard parabola, standard ellipse, standard hyperbola. And then in that case what remains is by changing the shift of origin or by rotation or translation transformation, anything, the basic shape of the geometry is not going to change, and therefore eventually the degree 2 part, homogeneous part of this, suppose if you perform translation transformation so that x and y is gone and you ended up getting only homogeneous equation in x and y is equal to constant, so constant is there, therefore we will not consider it as homogeneous equation, and then we can look at the homogeneous part of that. If we could complete the square of homogeneous part, that means h square minus ab must be equal to 0. In that case we end up getting parabola. Now h square minus ab, if it is greater than 0, h square minus ab is greater than 0, then we end up getting two real asymptotes. Because homogeneous part is equal to 0 is going to be joint equation of asymptotes. They are straight lines passing through origin. Therefore, homogeneous part of every degree 2 equation is going to be joint equation of asymptotes. And if you want real asymptotes, then h square minus ab must be greater than 0. Real asymptotes means it is hyperbola. Okay, and therefore characterization of hyperbola is h square minus ab greater than 0. Equal to 0 is parabola, greater than 0 is hyperbola, and therefore h square minus ab is less than 0 is ellipse. Okay, so some detailed discussion about this we will do next lecture, but now if we know this fact, then in the remaining time can we really find out 11x square plus 4xy plus 14y square minus 4x minus 28y minus 16 is equal to 0 is general degree 2, but as I said just now, h square minus ab in this case is less than 0, therefore this is ellipse. And what you want me to do, what I want you to do is find eccentricity, find length of major axis, minor axis, equation of major axis, and equation of minor axis. We'll discuss this problem in detail in the next lecture, but we have about 20 minutes now. You can try and sort this out the way you want to do it.